Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the 272nd edition of Cinema Effect, the podcast where we review and talk about a different movie every single Monday. And this week, that movie is Romeo plus Juliet, which opened in the US November 1st, 1996. It was directed by Baz Luhrmann. It is a romantic drama, tragedy. All of those things are fine, I guess. The synopsis says, Shakespeare's famous play is updated to the hip, modern suburb of Verona, still retaining its original dialogue. That's exactly what it is. That's not a synopsis. That's basically just like what the pitch meeting was. But okay, no problem. Fitzy, Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet, have you seen it before? And what do you think of it?
Baz Luhrmann's William Shakespeare's Romeo plus Juliet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it mostly. There was some kind of down moments, but like the intro and it just being like completely bombastic in the kind of first like 20 minutes or whatever. That was like I was really expecting that kind of, like a kind of garish kind of style or whatever, like a Baz Luhrmann thing, but I wasn't expecting it to that kind of extent. So yeah, I think that really worked. And then when we get into the more like, tragic romantic stuff, I think he pulled it off pretty well. So yeah, it balanced the kind of. It still felt like Shakespeare because I mean, obviously, like the words, but like the kind of the comedy aspect to it felt kind of isolated, and then like the other parts felt also isolated. You know what I mean? But it didn't feel like jarring. Like when we had the kind of the banter between the kind of group, Montague's group, it was kind of like, that felt like Shakespeare banter where it's not that serious and it's just like really witty and stuff. And then the rest of it was like appropriately deep and, I feel like Shakespeare does that and you don't like feel like it's weird. So Baz translated that well into visual form.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed it.
Have you seen it before?
No. Yeah, sorry, I didn't answer your question. No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, this was my first time too, and I did not love this. I really tried to give it a good go. And there's a lot of flair, a lot of Bazness to this film that I appreciate. I do like the style of it overall, I do. But man, it all just comes back to the dialogue for me. I really look. I like the choice on paper, the dialogue, keeping it the same. I dug it for like a 5-minute novelty. I'm like, this is cool and clever and all that. And then I had to sit with it for 2 hours. And I'm just like, God, I cannot get into this. I can see it being, I don't know, maybe entertaining for anyone who's already familiar with the material. I mean, not that, the material is pretty universally known, I guess, but like, I don't know, I've never like seen Romeo and Juliet unfold fully in any form. So I don't know. I get that it's the entire point is to reimagine something that's been done to death. I get that, but I guess for me, being my first time, maybe I should have watched Romeo and Juliet first to get like, to get to get the plot down. But I don't know. It just it made the whole thing with the dialogue. It just made the story feel really corny at times. And so yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan in the end, unfortunately. Jaden, have the floor, sir.
This is my like ridiculous number of times I've seen this film. Mainly because like we watched it in year 11 media. Like we had to study it, so I saw it a shit ton of times during that.
Right. Yeah.
So I got really familiar with the film. And I've always loved it. Like sometimes studying a film makes you hate it more. Like that happened with me with Django because like we had to do Django in year 12 media, and there's only so many times you can fucking watch that movie before it starts going down in points. but like with this one, like it's I think my relationship with that has like gotten better over time. Like by the time I got to my last time I had to watch it for like study reasons, like I was really enjoying it, and then like I haven't seen it since then, which was like what 7 years ago now. So like watching it again now, like I still love it. I think I love it even more. Like dialogue is kind of superfluous to me because I don't understand the fuck they're saying, but it just kind of adds to like the kind of romance and the tragedy of the story. It's just it's just a layer of it's just a technique that adds to the layer of romance. And like you don't need to know what they're saying because you know the story. Everyone knows the story. But like I think it's cool. I think it's so cool that it happened and it worked out this way. Like we watched like interviews with like Baz talking about having to like get this approved and all that stuff, and like it is just the most fascinating thing seeing him talk about it. So like it's kind of amazing they got made in the first place. But then like I just think that everything that they did, they achieved to the highest of like kind of quality. I just think like the soundtrack and the amalgamation of like of the setting and the just the updating of everything, and just I don't know, it all functions perfectly, really. And I don't know, the cast is great. I mean, Leo, like it's like these people are doing like classic dialogue, like things that you like expect to see on a stage, but they're doing it in the ones like it's just such a cool phenomenon,
Yeah,
and especially like when you see like when you see the father, the Capulet father, like doing it, he feels like a classic actor, when you see given that dialogue, and like it just feels like it's just a fun dynamic on screen, and like yeah, I mean the film looks like just there's such a style to it. I don't know. Yes, this is a great film, and you're entirely wrong.
I agree with pretty much everything you're saying. It's just the way my brain works, where dialogue, like I totally understand, like you can enjoy it as dialogues is kind of superfluous. Like the way my brain works, dialogue is essential. Like if I can't latch on to what you're saying, like my brain completely checks out. I just cannot. I just don't care about anything else going on. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, there's plenty of cool stuff to look at in this movie, and there's plenty of cool stuff to listen to in this movie that's not dialogue. And I appreciate it for that.
It didn't help that Netflix didn't have subtitles. Did you? Your phone didn't have subtitles. What the fuck is up with that?
Yeah, I know. That wasn't overly helpful.
That annoyed me as well.
Yeah. There's so much so actually that I switched to the Disney Plus to get the subtitles, and when I did that, the Disney Plus had subtitles, but the whole film's cropped. It's fucking zoomed in. So like it's ultra wide on Netflix, and then it's fucking zoomed in on like 185 on fucking Disney Plus, and like so you get like the frame's cut off. I'm like, bro, I'm not like. So I was literally like, do I want the subtitles or do I want the cut off frame? And I'm like, and I went back to Netflix because I'm like, because I lean towards it because if it were another movie, I might have made a different choice, but for this one, I'm like, dude, to your point, I don't understand what they're saying anyway, so I may as well just get the whole frame, get all of the glory of the screen, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. It's like,
then how would you feel how would you watch silent films if you can't? There's no dialogue in those. Or even films like that are like sans dialogue, like minimal dialogue. I mean, like, sure, it's an element, but like it's like the first and most important element of the film is vision. And as long as you have that, anything else is superfluous.
Yeah. I mean, fundamentally, creatively, I don't disagree, but yeah, my brain struggles to grab on. I don't know.
Yeah, your brain's fucked.
Yeah, no one's disagreeing with that. But yeah, it's just, man, I don't know. It's just, secondly, they start like it goes back to what I said. I thought the opening was awesome. I really did, and like I had no expectation at all that like they were going to start speaking like this. I really had no idea. Did you know this about the film, Fitzy? Or like was it turning it on? Was it the same thing? Yeah.
No, I was like 50-50 because I feel like that's what most Shakespeare, adaptations do. They just go either way. Either they go like really slang modern dialogue, or they just like keep all the the Middle English, the fucking original play, and just like update it with the like expressions or whatever, or the kind of way the way they say things. But yeah, so I don't know. It did like I guess it did wear off 20-30 minutes in, and then I was like, then I had to my brain actually had to start like processing what they were saying instead of just like enjoying it,
right. Yeah.
So like at a certain point it did hamper the film like a little bit, but I think like Jaden was kind of saying, like they really brought their kind of classical actor kind of A game, the whole kind of cast, like the Capulet father, Leo, even Leo's best friend, they just really pulled it off. So yeah.
You're not wrong. There were many times in this film where Leo's on a close-up just fucking acting his heart out like he's on a fucking Broadway production. You know what I mean? Just like absolutely giving it his all in the face. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, I can't disagree with that. I just... I am at a sticking point with it because, like I said, I do really like the choice on paper because it is cool. It is cool, but it's like, well, and then I also come back to the fundamental question of like, well, if you made this if the movie was exactly the same except they didn't speak like that, like, does that make the film better or worse?
I think it makes the film kind of tacky.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah.
The thing is, like, I like obviously like this version is also tacky and like just like kind of by design, but like I think like you lose, like you definitely lose an element of like, I don't know, you lose an element if you modernize the dialogue. It doesn't become anything special. People modernize Shakespeare plays all the time. This is different because it's a modernization in everything apart from the words. Everything you can change, you can, apart from Shakespeare's actual words. So if you were to just update everything, then it loses its edge of being unique.
See, yeah, like I completely agree. I do. So that's why, but so like that's why I'm glad the movie is the way it is. I just it just wore on me by the end. Like I really like it's like I said, like it was really cool for the first 5 or 10 minutes. Like it would be a great YouTube video concept to me. Like of like, they got, and then you just have to see it. It just keeps going. I'm like, oh god. But no, like yeah, that is the second point. I completely acknowledge it is a cool choice, but I just I struggled with it. That's all. Yeah, man. But like I guess the other
I'm sorry,
aspect
but
of it,
fucking Pete Postlethwaite delivering this immaculate dialogue that's fucking century years old, and you're like, oh, no, yeah.
I mean, Pete's like I guess a minor exception in that, like, I don't know, he feels like I totally agree with what you said earlier that he feels like he's comes right out of this shit, like as a classic, like he feels like a classic theater actor or oh, he probably is, I don't know, but like he feels that way. And then he also is like, I don't know, he's like the father character. He's not out there wielding the guns, you know what I mean? Like he's like he feels
but
like
the guns say sword and dagger and rapier on it to make them because they're swords.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, no, it's neat. No, I mean, Pete's awesome. I really enjoyed actually. He was one of my standouts actually. He's also like I forgot the name of it. You guys probably know. What's like the rhythm of cadence of rhyme that he speaks in? Like when like that Shakespearean like goddamn like he
iambic pentameter or whatever.
Yes, yeah, and he hits the syllables or whatever. He's like the only guy in the film who speaks that way. So like that's neat. I did like that a lot. But this is the other thing with the dialogue, maybe that I know that I think this actually semi ties to something that I know we've debated before, Jaden, about dialogue and how it relates to performances and being able to read them, I guess. And that is like, to me, it's essential. Like I can see clearly, obviously, like I already pointed out with Leo, but it applies to everyone, that everyone's acting their heart out in this movie. And I love the effort, but I couldn't. I can't really actually sit here and tell you I loved any performance in this movie because
Yeah, that's
I can't
crazy.
connect to it. I just can't
That's
connect to it.
crazy.
You know what I mean? It's like I can't connect to the emotion of it truly real. Like I guess to me, like the words are kind of important in that. You know, even though like it should, and I understand. Like I don't know, like to what I'm saying probably sounds heinous because like it should just come through this. It should just all come through like anyway. You know, and it's fucking Romeo and Juliet.
But it does. Like that's the thing. It does come through. Like the image is so strong that like like once again like the dialogue becomes like you don't need to understand it because like the image shows enough and the actors are showing enough in their body. Like you're telling me that Leo contorted in pain, you know, saying either you or me or both, you know, we must accompany him to heaven. Or you're telling me that just because the dialogue was old English there, that you know you had no emotion in that scene.
Yeah, I mean, in the sense that I think it conveys what it needs to convey to understand it. Absolutely, like I don't understand exactly what they're saying all the time, but I get the gist. That's you get the gist. That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
that's fine, but and like I'm not saying there's not emotion in the scene, but I don't find it emotional. I didn't find anything in this movie remotely emotional at all. You know, I didn't care at all. That's my. I don't know. Fitzy, how did you find that the dialogue was a hindrance in that way, or even you know we can throw away the dialogue if we want, just like the scenes and how they play out. Were you able to find emotional resonance in them?
Like only when the dialogue overwhelmed and it's kind of like confusion, I guess, because like I feel like 70% of the dialogue you can kind of understand at a kind of at an audio, like at a glance, at a listening glance, you know. But some of it you do get a bit lost in, so that the emotion is lost in some of those scenes. But like overall, I think the big emotional beats definitely work, especially because there is a moments where dialogue is either repeated or like you know yelled or extended. So like I think that was probably like a strategic thing that Baz did in those parts, so that you can kind of you know just indulge in the emotion without getting bogged down in the dialogue. So I think it did work. Like you know the Leo freak out scenes, the best friend, you know the dying scene where you also have the amazing beach set and the storm in the background and everything.
Yeah,
like visually that just works, and it's like as I said, you know the dialogue is just like it's simple and it's like repeating itself, you know, a scratch and that kind of thing. So yeah, so like bogged down sometimes, but pretty much no, not in like the actual scenes where you're supposed to feel something and connect with something.
I think the only time that the dialogue actually gets completely lost is when they have that. It's with Benvolio, Romeo, and Mercutio on the beach when they kind of have that long conversation. Like I think that happens twice, where it's like the three of them and then some of the Montague boys kind of in like that kind of long back and forth. That is the only time it kind of gets lost because that is just pure, you know, conversation dialogue. True. But then every other time, I think like I think everything with the Capulets, I'm pretty sure is very clear. Like, there's not a moment there where like I ever get lost. It's only with the Montagues on the beach at that like in those two instances that like I can see getting lost and getting disinterested because like, there's nothing to accompany it.
Yeah, it's pretty long too. The Capulets. Do you mean like the scenes like at their house, like amongst like their little family sort of dynamic?
Yeah, I think everything between the mom and Juliet, and then the housekeeper, and then the father and Dave Paris. Paris, I think his name was. Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. like everything that's said there, like, is very easy to follow.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt that. Yeah, no, I agree with all that. I'll take this as a chance to. I guess we can talk about the beach scene a bit because it was long, but Yeah, it was like visually the standout of the film. I agree. Like to me anyway. Like I thought the set was awesome. I thought that was like the ultimate. I don't know. Like I just felt Baz coming through. Like the sound and the score in that scene was really good. Like as it was building, I actually rewatched that scene for the very reason you're talking about, Jane, because like I got the gist, but like wanted to like try and understand the dialogue a little bit better. Semi succeeded, I guess, questionably, but yeah, no. And then when I rewatched it, I noticed the sort of the underneath the sort of score building towards the tension of it, and that was really well done. So yeah, no, I thought that scene was strong. I don't disagree. And then going through into the into like the when Leo like rolls the car or whatever, and then like shoots what's it, John Leguizamo's character?
Tybalt.
Tittle?
Tybalt?
Tybalt?
Oh, Tybalt. Yeah. Like I thought all that stuff, I thought like that was pretty good. You know, I kind of got behind that. So like I guess in the grand gestures, in the death scenes, in the violence, in these moments, like, you know, like that's where it worked for me the most, I would say. But I don't know, maybe in what I'm talking about earlier, maybe this is sort of the angle that we need to come at now, is like, I guess a lot of my stuff is and my criticisms in terms of like not being able to connect with this film is just the Romeo and Juliet shit. Like this shit is so corny, dude. I'm sorry. Like I just like every scene with them is so corny. I cannot get into it.
They
like,
are the original star-crossed lovers, you know, they are.
Yeah, I know.
They are what everything is based off. You know Star
It's
Wars?
true.
You know how you like Star Wars? You know how you like Anakin and Padme? You know?
What like the worst shit in Star Wars, but yeah, okay.
Like that's like Star Wars is Romeo and Juliet.
Across the stars. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. No, you're not wrong, but it's like, yeah, I get.
You know how Padme dies because she thinks Anakin's dead, and then Anakin's not dead. So then, you know, Anakin like kind of kills himself symbolically into the dark side. You know?
Yeah, I love how like that is actually like the worst plot beat in Star Wars. Like I'll say it. You know what I mean? And it's like, wow, it took it from this. No wonder. It's corny. I'm sorry. So this is zooming. I'll try and tackle it, zooming out a little bit for a second. In that, the chemistry between the two leads here, I feel like I can't sit here and say it's bad, because I don't think it is bad. But I just can't with it. There's just nothing to it for me. You know what I mean? Like, and that maybe that's like when I was asking earlier about it, if the dialogue was different, if that would change things. Like, maybe this stuff, maybe it would. And I don't know if I want that, but I'm just thinking, if these two actors romantically on screen were talking normally, like, maybe I would like that better. It is also like it is also like, maybe not, because it is also just like obviously following the beats of Romeo and Juliet, which I assume this changed nothing in terms of like the whole, you know, the order of events in which they, you know, fake death and then death and then death, you know. So maybe I would just find it corny regardless, you know. But
you see,
I
just don't see it as corny. I just like I see it as romance to the strongest degree, dude. Their introduction, when they're like kind of playing that little bit of, you know, it's like kind of, you know, non physical footsie, but like through the fish tank, and like the camera's passing through the fish tank.
Mm-hmm.
They're both kind of darting around, you know, like that is just so strongly just kind of oozes with like this kind of like first love and like love at first sight kind of thing. And then like it just continues from there, and then like I don't know, Romeo's feeding her his bullshit poems, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I love it," and like I love it, you know. And then like it just functions, man. It just works.
He's swooning you too.
Yeah.
So is the fish tank scene iconic, or Do I just think it is because I also it's like the only scene I saw this in media. Like it's the only scene I've seen before.
I mean, to be fair, our media teacher that we had kind of probably skewed your perspective of it. Like,
Yeah, that's what I guess that's what I'm
Yeah.
asking. Like, did she or not?
yeah, it's hard for me to comment as well because
Because you're there too.
yeah, because she's like, oh yeah, this is iconic, this is iconic, this is iconic. So I was like to me, like, everything is iconic. So like, okay.
I guess, Fitzy, had you ever seen or heard of the fish tank scene? This'll help.
Yeah, but also I was in the media class for like homeroom, so like I think I saw like images, but like I think if you ask most people, they'd say it's like a film, like a big filmic moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think that's what made me realize because, like, I'd seen that scene in my head. The scene was longer. Like, I feel like I don't know. In my head,
Yeah,
I thought
it was longer as well. To be honest.
Okay, cool. But in my head, I thought I had a better sense of what the movie was as a result of thinking that scene was longer or whatever, and therefore, like, that's why I think I was extra shocked by the dialogue. Because I'm like, but I've seen like a bit of this movie, and I don't remember the dialogue being like that. But it's like they didn't speak in the scene. That's why. But like in my head, they're like, oh, they definitely spoke in that scene, but no, they definitely didn't. But yeah, I don't know. Fitzy, how do you weigh in on the? On my chemistry thing.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about like I don't know if they actually did have like great chemistry, but it's also like you can't really judge it by normal chemistry standards. I think because it's about this kind of like infatuation thing. Whereas usually in like rom-coms or whatever, you have like they kind of don't like each other at first, and then they grow on each other, and the actors are like more subtle, and then you kind of see their kind of affection or whatever. But here it's like a theatrical thing where it's like instant love, and in that sense it works. But I don't know if you're supposed to actually feel like some kind of chemistry between them or something. I definitely didn't. I don't think. But
yeah, I get that's a good point though. That's a good point. It's like, well, what is for what the characters are? Like, what would chemistry really look like? Like,
I guess, I mean, they're supposed to be like teenagers as well, right? But I think in the play they're supposed to be young anyway.
Yeah.
And they play that that kind of young chemistry, young love well, but it's just not. It's not like by the same standards that you judge other kind of chemistry-based duos by,
Yeah, so. No, that's totally right. Yeah, like the characters are just meant to be totally infatuated with each other, as we see. So it's just like, like I can't say. No, you're right. You're right. I think that's the predicament. I think you described the predicament I'm in because I think of the pool scene, and I'm just like, this shit's lame. It's lame, dude. It's corny as fuck. But it's like, I get it. I don't know. I assume that the play. I sound so ignorant about probably the most famous play ever, but that whatever the equivalent of this is in the play, that it's like the same. I'm not like criticizing Baz here necessarily, being like, why is this scene so long? It's be like, well, take it out with Shakespeare. Like that's totally fair. I'm not necessarily like asking him to fully change what's just what it is. That's fine. But yeah, I don't know. Just like I can't also change my own lens of just watching this pool scene, and I'm just like, God damn, this scene's so long. Why did they? The scene would not end. They just kept jumping up and running, climbing back up and jumping back down, and I feel like they fell in the pool 3 times. I'm like, oh my God.
No, that's fair actually. Yeah.
It's like Jesus Christ, guys. So yeah, no, that was when I think of the corniness, that was obviously up there. This film had me thinking, like, I don't even know. I thought Claire Danes was good in the movie. I don't want to necessarily be mistaken for that, but I don't even know what else I've seen her in. Like, she's a name.
She's isn't she like most famous for like in like Homeland, or like one of those like long running like.
She was in there for years.
Oh, it was Homeland.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like that's like a big thing, isn't it?
Is it her big thing? Like I know it was one of her things for sure, but it's just like I don't know. It's just like in my head, I'm like, surely she was like, I don't know, decently big before that, but like maybe not. She's in Terminator 3.
Is she?
Yeah, apparently.
Dude, what?
I've seen that movie, but I couldn't point her out in it. No, maybe you're right. It does seem like she had some roles and stuff, but like maybe it was kind of like maybe Homeland is her thing. In my head, she was like I don't know, had some bigger film roles, I guess, but maybe not.
No, Stardust is pretty big.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, I know. I was just kind of surprised. I thought like I've heard your name a lot, but I feel like this is the first time I'm actually watching you, so that's cool. Yeah, man. We talked about Priest Pete.
So cool, man.
He's cool. He's just cool in everything, to be fair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like he's
with his fucking massive back cross tattoo that you can see through his like mesh fucking.
Yeah. I love how you can see it through the shirt.
Yeah, that's tough as.
Yeah, it is actually. I agree with that. Yeah, I don't know. Pete's just great and everything. So no complaints there. So John Leguizamo in this film, he just looks great in this movie. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like he just feels like his whole the costume and the little goatee thing he's got going on. He just fits perfectly. It's like god damn, like he looks fully realized in this movie. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like this is like this would be like his peak physical existence is like how he's portrayed here.
I don't know. He's been pretty attractive for quite a long time.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this film was able to capitalize on it in the best way. You know what I mean? And it's like it leaned perfectly into all the right things to just make him stand out.
Yeah.
They introduce him perfectly, and every time they use him, it's perfect. I mean, introduce him like stepping on a match at a gas station. Tells us there's a danger there. And then, he shows up the Montague boys, and then like at the party later when you see him and there's a ferocity in them, and it's like he's great.
He is great. Yeah, there's that shot of when he they're on the beach and he's like standing over Leo. Kind of a distance, wide sort of shot, and he's just like, man, it's just like, god damn, that's some iconic shit right there. That looks great. There's obviously some very cool looking stuff in this movie. Is there any other? I feel like you were going to shout out another cast member, Jaden, before I.
Well, I just want to say is that I think the introduction of Leo DiCaprio as Romeo is one of the best character introductions just in film history. Just sunsetting on Verona Beach, Radiohead in the background, him walking around, fucking, aloof and pondering and just the weight of the world on him, kind of looking around, bleach blonde, and it's like just so hot and just so good.
Well, I guess one thing I was going to ask is, I know this is a debate that's come up before. I think Fitzy brought it up a couple of weeks ago to me, but it's like, is this Leo right here attractive? Yay or nay? And I think we got Jaden's answer.
No, yeah, I'd agree.
Because I'm not a hard yay all the time for young Leo. You know what I mean? It's not just it's not a given for me. But I feel like again, it's kind of the Leguizamo thing where it's just I feel like Baz just knows it's the Baz factor.
He knows how to make people attractive.
Absolutely. Yeah. Particularly men, obviously. It's just I don't know what it is. It's just it's just he amplifies all the right things for it to hit.
His hair is really good. The blonde hair and the eyes in this film, they're just stunning.
Yeah. He's always got that right amount of part hanging down or whatever. That's actually totally true. Yeah. Oh, so you brought. Oh yeah. No, the opening scene on Verona Beach. The whole like beachy vibe in the film. So like obviously, I get it's meant to be like a what's the word, like a parallel or whatever, like a version of Los Angeles, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Is the impression it gave me. I was like, how do we feel about that? Like, was if you're Baz and you're sitting down and you can what you want to do in terms of making this a modern thing, and you choose any sort of city setting, like LA is just an interesting choice. I wouldn't have been surprised if you sort of want to go for like the hard modern sort of crime New York sort of thing. You know what I mean? But you're sort of taking a more
Yeah.
summer
I think
route.
it's so like they screen tested in Sydney. Like there's footage of Leo like doing his shit just in the back streets of Sydney, and like it looks fine as well. Like I don't know if LA had to be the city, but then I think it works because it's kind of when you're pulling together like that, like this film is this kind of melting pot of like obviously the Shakespearean dialogue, then like pulling in real world influences, like just like there's the MTVification of it all. And there's like Rodney King was happening in LA at the similar time. I'm pretty sure there's actual footage from the Rodney King riots as well. So I think that kind of like, I think that kind of current state of LA is what kind of drove it to being set there. But like I think that's just because it was the right city at the right time. Like had it been a couple years after that or before or whatever, like it could have been another city.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, because there's no denying it feels totally right. And it just I think that sort of answers my question, because I guess the thing I was just wondering, I was like, it feels right, but I was just wondering like what sort of led him there.
Yeah,
you know.
It's just I think it was the way that pop culture and the real world was unfolding at the moment. Was that that's where it ended up.
Yeah, cool. That makes sense. That feels right. We keep saying it. It's honestly, it's literally just the beach. Like the beach just adds a lot to this movie. Like if you swap out a lot of the stuff for like, I don't know, like New York parks or something, it's like, I don't know. Just don't think it's as cool. What are some of the other the Baz factor coming in, the Bazness? The whole intro sequence. I guess this is a comment on the editing overall, but the editing in this film and the editing of the intro sequence, the chaotic, fast, frantic nature of it, it's very cool.
Dude,
it really is.
How good is it to have the news reporter deliver, the kind of stage like the thing, and then immediately after have a narrator deliver the exact same thing, and you have this montage of like film and like real world and stuff like that, and just like stuck. Oh, dude, so incredibly hard, man.
That it was very hard. I totally agree. This was still. I think this was still in the phase where I sort of assumed, they're doing the Shakespeare dialogue now as like a framing, like a cool thing at the start. You know what I mean? I didn't realize they were going to do it the whole time. But yeah, no, I definitely agree. Obviously, like the part that stood out to me most, I have to say, is like the text, like the trailer text, with the font like coming up, like two, whatever it said, 2 star-crossed lovers take their own lives or whatever. I'm like, does the play open that way where it also like reveals that? Because I'm like, damn, you just spoiled this shit. But okay.
Wouldn't know.
I was curious if it was if it's like the play also does that, or if it was like a Baz thing. Like he was.
I think it does, because like the news reporter is meant to be a direct replacement for like the person like on stage that would be on stage typically announcing like the kind of setting. So like I think there would be someone there that prefaces it, and that you can kind of, because sometimes it's hard to track a story if you don't know what's already happening kind of on when it's on stage. If that makes sense. Like when I went to the when I went to the ballet, like they had like the entire Swan Lake program, and like you're meant to read through it at the start so you understand what's happening. Like you're meant to spoil the story for yourself so you understand what's happening on stage, because otherwise it's easy to get lost.
Yeah. That makes sense. That would be me. I would definitely need to do that shit. I checked, and yeah, Shakespeare does do that as well. Yep, you're right. Huh. That's interesting. I wonder, can we get Shakespeare on the line and ask him why he decided to spoil his own play at the start? Because you at least assume back in the day they had a better idea of understanding, what was being said. Although I don't know if this is a dumb question, it probably is, but like everyone who was seeing his plays back in the day when he was around, like, did they understand this shit, or was this shit weird for them too? You know what I mean? Like were they weren't all walking around speaking exactly like this, were they? Or was it like no one spoke like this, but they all understood it because it was like the language of theatre? You know what I mean? Like you go to the theatre, they talk, and we all understand that.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, everyone wasn't speaking in like iambic pentameter. They're just
Oh no.
saying whatever's coming to mind.
Right. Yeah. It's like a law. Everyone's got to speak like. That's awesome. No, but I guess I just mean like the rest of the characters speaking the film with all the thy and all that shit.
Mm.
No, that's like that is just Old English.
Yeah.
Like the cadence they speak in wouldn't be like your everyday thing, but like the language they use would be.
You reckon?
I think so.
I
mean, I'm sure people use the word thy, like that's just one word, but like, yeah, I guess like the whole. This is way too over my head to be talking about this shit.
But like the whole I bite my thumb at you thing, like that's like a real insult that was like used.
Okay. It's funny. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's kind of wild, but yeah, makes sense, I guess. In terms of the Baz stuff, were there any other like, I don't know, editing choices, anything like that we want to, or anywhere else we want to take that?
There's Craig Armstrong's score is just Baz, and then also just like that kind of the party scene. I don't know. I feel like the party scene is just Baz as well.
Is there a Gatsby comparison to be made?
Yeah, Gatsby, and just kind of, I don't know, I just feel like there's often like this kind of decadence in his films. Like, kind of get to show it off.
That's true.
And then, like, I don't know. No, I'm pretty sure costumes was done by his partner as well at the time. Or set design. Like, is she set designer or?
She's the production designer usually.
Designer, yeah,
I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Has she been on every single one of his films?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Catherine Martin.
Yeah, has she? So she was on this one.
Yeah, she was on all of them. Yeah.
Is she? She's also on like his film previous to this. What's it called?
Strictly
Something
Ballroom.
Dancing.
Yeah.
Strictly Ballroom. Sorry. Yeah. There you go. So she's done every one of his films. That's cool.
Yeah. So like things that we attribute to Bazisms are probably also more her as well, especially like in kind of like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pair of them for sure. Yeah. No, you're not wrong, especially considering so much of it being visual. And if you look at that party scene, for example, and the costumes and the whole look and feel, the joint. Yeah, and like I don't know, style the extras. I mean, it's both of them. Like obviously all the extras and stuff, but yeah, no, you're not wrong. We shouldn't give the man all the credit. You know what I mean? Although I think Catherine Martin has won plenty of awards as well. I don't think she goes on.
I think she's won more awards than him. Yeah.
I actually think she has.
Yeah.
I think she's actually like won more Oscars or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, no, there's the score. No, the score was awesome. I feel like you guys have got to have some strong words about the soundtrack, right?
Yeah,
I know Jada mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, Radiohead's like the strong point for me, but then like you also got Garbage on there, and there's like the operatic version of like When Doves Cry is fucking hilarious, but I love it.
Where's that?
It's just after I think it's after Pete talks with Juliet, I think, but like you pan up to like the children, or maybe it's with maybe it's after he talks to Romeo, but like it pans up to like the children's opera, and like they start singing When Doves Cry.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's just funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the Radiohead songs. I was expecting more, to be honest, because I kind of like associated this film more with Radiohead, but um, I liked how they kind of bookended it. I guess, you know, the Romeo introduction and the credits. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like the music choices a lot. See, this is bad. This isn't good for me because like the second we start going deep into like all the you know the direction stuff and all the technical stuff, it's like, God damn, I just sound like I love this movie. Because I do like all this stuff. It's true. There's some great striking imagery in this movie. I've already mentioned a couple of shots I like, but I mean, obviously, there's like, I mean, this is kind of a no-brainer, but like, I couldn't help but like take immediate note of the shot where like Romeo's like kneeled down, you know, on the sunset there, and he's like grieving about Juliet. He just got that like the horses in the background or whatever, like and the goddamn like shacks and shit of the I guess like the Californian desert. I guess it's meant to be. It's like, goddamn, that shit's sick. You could frame that.
So many nights, like the kind of like stage, like that, like the abandoned stage on Verona Beach, just creates just amazing kind of images. But then like another one, just like with Leo as well, is like in the church, like when he's like approaching a body, and you have like the neon cross in the background. It's kind of blurred, and it's just like it's so good.
Yeah, there's just religious imagery everywhere in this movie.
Yeah. Is that how it is in Owen? Is that how it is in the play as well? Like, is it that strong on it? Because like it kind of feels like there is an emphasis on it here as well.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's easy to compare levels of prominence between the mediums, but like you imagine it is definitely an element there, right? Just with the, I don't know. I'm just imagining with like the father character or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it must. I imagine the idea comes from it all. I don't imagine that it's all being, you know. I don't imagine that it wasn't religious at all, and then this is all added. But it's very prominent.
Yeah. Well, I haven't read Romeo and Juliet, but like Hamlet and Othello had like a lot of religious themes to it, a lot of religious weaving. So
yeah. Well, what is? Well, I don't know. Is there like an overriding like thing with that with Shakespeare? Like, does he have like a? Is it usually like, I don't know? Does he have usually a comment on it or is it just very present?
Well, it's, I don't know if he himself was like religious, but it's like a heavy consideration in like Hamlet, because that's about like, you know, suicide and whether or not you go to hell and that kind of thing, and it like weighs on Hamlet's like consciousness, like conscience or whatever. And then Othello, there's a lot of stuff about like heaven and beauty and stuff. So, I mean, he kind of uses it as just like a literary thing, but it's also like something that the characters are like burdened by. So,
oh, I see. Okay,
yeah,
that makes sense. I'm not sure how that's super applicable to this, but if it was just something that he was just known for, I mean, that's fair.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I mean, Romeo didn't really seem to care about dying. He didn't seem religious at all. Or like he wanted to die. You know, he was pretty much. He was pretty keen on death. So,
absolutely. Oh yeah. I did have this trivia about the ending. Actually, in the Shakespeare play, Romeo never discovers that Juliet was alive after he has taken the poison. Romeo dies. Later, Juliet wakes and discovers that he has taken the poison and then kills herself. So like the whole timing thing of it in this film, where it's like, don't. It just slips in. Oh no! Like that's Baz. You know what I mean? Which I'm sorry, it's super corny, but okay.
So good.
Come on, man. It's pretty whack. It's pretty whack. But
but it gives you the same feeling of like when like every time you watch it, you want like you will for the outcome to be different, but it happens like it elicits that same emotion every time. Yeah. Like the way that like, you know, I don't know. I mean, not to go back to Star Wars because like I already use that comparison, but you know, like every time you hope that Anakin doesn't fall to the dark side, you hope he doesn't kill the younglings, but he does. And this like, you know, the timing of this it creates that effect of like no, don't. He's like, I can change it. And it's like, oh no, fuck.
It I mean, it does, but like the Anakin example isn't valid because it's like that's like a whole character's like that's a character choice, you know. That's like that is an arc that's occurring that you don't want to have in the same time. This is just like a split second, like fucking timing moment. You know what I mean? This is just like, I mean, like I get what you mean. I think it is meant to have the effect you
It's built up a
describe.
bit more. It's built up like because like you know like obviously Pete's message doesn't reach him. And then,
That's
Pete
that's
realized,
true.
like there is a bit more to it than just like this one split second thing. Like a series of events does go wrong, and like you're just kind of waiting for it to fix itself.
Yeah, no, that's true. I just got to be honest though. When that shit happened, I rolled my eyes. I was just, it was you know, it was pretty contrived in my opinion. But yeah. So the whole I did like the final shit. Like I liked the final like police detectives. You know, like little
He was so good.
speech about like basically this shit's dumb, shame on you kind of thing. Like what is the outcome meant? Like, is that just meant to be it? Like, is it? I'm curious what I'm meant to take out of the ending in terms of is it like this was a waste of life, which is evidently that's true. But is it more like is there meant to be any implication as to the families are going to change? Is there anything more there? You know what I mean? Or is it just kind of like, look what you've done?
Well, isn't there like a hint that there's going to be peace afterwards? Because like in the priest's vision as well, he sees this whole path. He sees the path of Romeo pursuing Juliet, leading to peace, and he sees that specific scene later where they're like, look, the two fathers are like looking at each other. So that happens, but it's in like a negative context. But like the outcome could still be the same, you know. And like at the end, I mean, the news reporter says this is like a moment of like reflection and peace or whatever. So maybe I don't know.
There's okay. There's a little hint of something like that they might get their shit together.
I think so. Also, I think Tybalt kind of like fucking started everything. You know, like he just hated Romeo for no kind of reason. And now that they're both gone, it's like,
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, a lot of stuff started in this movie for kind of no reason. You know what I mean? His hatred, their love. You know, there's no reason.
The hatred is just because like the Montagues and Capulets are warring families. Like that exists because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And their love exists because Leo's hot as fuck, and it's like,
yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh man, I think. I mean, you brought up earlier, Jane, about like it's a miracle this film was made. Was that like a topic that was like brought up by Baz in some of that behind the scenes stuff you'd seen?
I think so, because like when you pitch to what he was saying in the interviews that I remember was that like when you pitch to a studio that you want to do it in classical dialogue, they assume that you want to make it a period piece, and then you say no, I want to do it in modern day. So okay, we're doing a modernized version. So like, okay, cool. And then like it's like there was thing that like it was around that whole like dilemma of like, you know, it's this and that and we're combining it, and there was worries about that, I think, to like until it eventually got approved. I don't know how much of a battle it was, but like I think it is a miracle because like something like this doesn't get made today, I think, and like if it does, it doesn't get made the same way. And like imagine the outrage if you had a black Mercutio these days that was doing cross dressing, like it just wouldn't, like, you know, like things like that wouldn't fly. So like I do think it is a miracle that it kind of it does get made in the way it does, and like even like I think people would criticize the costumes because like they'll call it like it's cheap or whatever. It's like, you know, like even like the whole Halloween costume, you know, like Leo's in his like kind of cheap knight armor, which I just think is like just suits the aesthetic so well and it just like adds so much. And it's like, you know, kind of putting it back in that time is cool. But I just think a lot of these details about the film, like, I mean, obviously I think 20 years later it doesn't get made, and then 20 years before that it doesn't get made.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No, that's a great point. Yeah. Then I'm glad it was made. Although when at the start when it came up, it's like 20th Century Fox, and then obviously at the bottom it's like a news corp company. When when that shit hit the start, I'm just like, do you reckon Rupert Murdoch ever saw this movie? did he see this shit and he's like, what is this? Why did we make this?
That's why Baz has only done like 6 films in 30 years.
Yeah, it takes like 6 years for like his effect to have worn off.
Yeah.
Each time, like that's how long. Maybe that's just Rupert Murdoch's memory. You know what I mean? He's like, oh fuck, he's 90 now. I can make another movie. Yeah. He's forgotten the last one. Maybe that's what it is. That's pretty weird trivia here. This is this is unintentional, but this is like trivia that suits this week's question, maybe in a reverse way. But Natalie Portman, who was 13 at the time, was the frontrunner for Juliet, and even did the screen test with 21-year-old Leonardo DiCaprio. But ultimately, the director and producers decided she was too young and it wouldn't be appropriate. Portman understood and agreed with them. Why was she there in the first place? I'm sorry. That's weird.
Well, Claire Danes wouldn't be much older than her.
Really? No.
Yeah.
What? Hang on.
Like she's old enough that it's okay, but it's still like not that much older.
No, Claire Danes was like 20 in this movie, right?
No.
Oh wow. Oh, this is alarming. They're only 2 years. She's only 2 years older than her.
Yeah. It's like when I assume like by the time they would have got to production, like Portman probably would have been about the I don't know what. I don't know.
Yeah, 14? Yeah.
Yeah.
Claire Danes was 16 in this movie.
Yeah.
Wow, that's shocking. Okay. Wow, did no one question that? Okay, maybe, hey, another product of its time thing, maybe. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess is it, I guess there was that topless scene. To be honest. I don't know.
Yeah. It's not the worst thing.
No. I guess we're forgiving it. I don't know if we should, but I guess we are.
I think that's actually I think I'm not sure whether it was in but like Danes was kind of like intimidated by DiCaprio because like she had a crush on him or something. Like I think I heard something about that. Like because like she was like obviously in the age range of like teen girls that had a crush on young Leo.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah,
like,
okay.
You know.
Yeah, that's awkward.
Yeah, I think it probably was a bit weird behind the scenes. I'll give it a shout out to Mercutio. I feel like we haven't really talked about him. He's so good. I know. I often hear like people like say like he's like the best version of Mercutio. Like I can't really vouch for that because I haven't really seen anything else. But like I'll believe it. I mean, I think it's fantastic. I think he's brilliant. And like when he's delivering his kind of final lines of a plague upon both your families, and like you know what that plague is going to be. Very affecting. Like he is like the ultimate kind of best friend in that, like in like the way that he is like with Leo, and like he pulls him out of like helps him and does that, and then he does that and stands up for him and does this and that, and then I think it's all done very well.
Agreed. Yeah.
Another thing you agree on being done well.
Dude, everything was done well in this movie. There's very little about that I'm going to disagree. Shout out to Harold. Oh god, how do you it's like a French name, Liam. Perrineau. That's it. Perrineau. That's who plays Mercutio. Shout out to Harold. All right, let's get to our final verdicts for Romeo and Juliet. Liam.
I'll give it a strong 7. Yeah, they're just, I don't know. Yeah, all the kind of big moments hit. I enjoyed most of it, but wasn't completely sold. But I still think it was great. I agree with Zach, all the technical elements. Yeah, they're great. So, yeah, 7.
Yeah, I've got a lot of mixed feelings which I basically all vented at the start. But I'll give it a 5. It's like half an absolutely killer movie, and then half just me. Half I was just kind of bored and found a lot of it corny. But and mainly when I say a lot of it, I just mean the romantic shit. That's all I mean, really. Jaden, what about you?
I go to 9. I'll bump it up from the 8 that it's been sitting on.
Nice. Nice. You needed that rewatch 7 years later
Mm.
to bring it home to a 9, where it belongs. All right, now it's time for our highlights of the week. Jaden, do you care to go?
I watched Conjuring Last Rites. It was okay. It started off okay, and then it kind of falls apart entirely. It just it just becomes like Avengerified, where like it's like the power of family saves the day, and like there's too many things going on, and it's just like the series lost really only Conjuring 1 and 2 would it like 3 like I didn't like, but some people I see kind of coming out of the woodwork being like, yeah, no, it's good. But 3 and 4 are kind of, I think 4 is better than 3 because it kind of goes back to a little bit more like a purist kind of haunted house type stuff, whereas like 3 was, I think it was a bit more about the court trial that came afterwards, so it was kind of weird. I don't know, Ed, who plays Ed, Patrick and Vera are like they've created like one of the great modern kind of characters, as you know, like these guys, like they like there's this question that's been going around recently, like you know, like when was like the last time an iconic movie character kind of was made, you know, or like yeah. You know, can you like of the last 20 years, like what character can you say is iconic that's original? And
yeah,
like I think Ed and Lorraine Warren kind of come very close to being an answer to that, and like largely in part due to like, you know, their depiction by Patrick and Vera. So it's always nice seeing them, but then yeah, it just kind of feels like the story's kind of been slipping over the years. There's some decent scares, but then like even like the formula, like they've just fucked with the formula too much of like, you know, 1 and 2 was family in trouble, they contact Ed and Lorraine, then they go and live in their house and they bust the ghost, and they do that in 2, you know, and then 3 you kind of lose it. I can't remember much of 3 to be honest, just because it's shit. But then in this one you kind of have some of it, but then like there's too much going on with Judy, their own daughter, and like their own lives, so like it just kind of becomes like loaded. Yeah, it was okay. I don't know, it was like a 6-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I've only seen The Conjuring 1, but like, you're not wrong about those 2. They're great. That's a great question of the week, by the way. What's like a modern, iconic?
People,
that's tough.
Like the one that people often say is Jack Sparrow, but even when you say Jack Sparrow, that's over 20 years ago now. And then the other answer that I've seen argued that I could agree with is John Wick.
Yeah. Okay.
And then like it's honestly hard to say like what other modern iconic character has what iconic character has emerged in the last 20 years that's original.
Yeah, that's
it's honestly hard to say other than like
that's really
those
interesting
2 that I kind of mentioned. Yeah,
I agree with those 2, but you're right obviously about the timing on Jack. Yeah, John Wick counts for sure. That's a good answer.
I mean, he was the first like kind of Fortnite skin, you know. Back in season 2, like they couldn't call him John Wick back then, you know. But you know, it was clearly John Wick, so like that counts for something.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But then he actually did get added for real as John Wick right, eventually.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, that's funny. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's actually what the entire criteria needs to be about. It needs to be about who has Fortnite skins and who doesn't. Like that's basically what we're saying counts if you've got a Fortnite skin.
Because like I don't know. Well, because like the other criteria is how many Lego pieces, like you know, like Lego sets, likewise. And like so, Chris Pratt has like quite a few like Lego sets, like Lego characters. But then, like, would you call his character from Jurassic World iconic? No.
God, no, absolutely not. No.
And it's like then his other characters aren't original or like they're
Yeah.
animated. Animated probably does count. Animation, have they really been making iconic characters? Rick and Morty,
Yeah,
I guess you could maybe argue. Yeah.
But then you're saying like TV shows. Then you can like say anyone, like Logan, like the Roys or whatever. Like there'll be like plenty of
iconic.
examples.
Yeah, I don't think they're iconic.
Really?
No.
To modern culture?
No, I don't think they are.
Game of Thrones, you can maybe argue characters from there becoming iconic, but they're not original because they're adaptations. Sorry.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
What do you mean by like? Is it just a certain popularity level needed for like to become iconic? Is that why like, Logan isn't?
Yeah, I think if you go to anyone walking around Big W right now, or well, not right now, but you know what I mean, and like you ask them who Logan Roy is, like there's not going to be enough people that know for it to count.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. It probably reflects in something interesting about pop culture state. Like, all right, take Stranger Things as well. Like Stranger Things, like the most popular show in the world at the moment.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't call any of those characters like 11 borderline. Maybe you can get away with. The rest of them, no.
That's an interesting point because, like, obviously the show counts. Like, the show's huge.
The show counts, but the characters don't.
We're talking about characters. Yeah. No, it's if you create the distinction, it's fair. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone in that show is really iconic. Like, I was gonna say like Hopper, but like,
no. Oh way.
No, you're right. You're right.
Something to ponder.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, you're not wrong about it being a reflection of maybe a lack of creativity going on.
I don't know if it's a lack of creativity as much as it is like a kind of diversification of like audience, and like we're spoiled for choice these days. We're not kind of locked into what's being shown.
Yeah.
In the cinemas, like I think a lot of people will take it as like kind of the negative side of like creativity being on the down, but I just also think it is like the fact that like we don't have to. It's the same as music, there's no pop stars anymore because we're not all listening to top 40 chart hits. We can access anything at any time.
Right.
So very much the same way. We're not getting the same kind of level of stardom for characters.
Right. That's the argument people make when they're like, there's no movie stars anymore, right? Like, it's just
yeah. I mean, I think movie stars. Yeah, even movie stars. Yeah, I think movie stars are dying as well. I think pop stars are the one that's like easy to say, like because like like pop stars don't exist in the same category anymore. I mean, Taylor Swift is obviously an exception, but like the way that like the way they functioned in the 80s doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's the same with movie stars. Yeah. Although, I mean, I kind of vaguely I agree with that idea of it in terms of it not being the same as it was, but like there's still obviously people that I would go and see a movie for, So like I don't think it's like I don't know. Some people, I think I've heard some people try and make the argument that it's like, oh well, there's no one actor anymore that you'd go and see a movie for just because it's them, Whereas that was the case before. I don't fully agree with that. I think there are definitely people that still have that, but yeah, in terms of it like being an all in, a cultural like a zeitgeist, like in terms of like there's one culture that we all are a part of. Yeah, I understand that. Wow, that was deep. My highlights, of course, like I've had no highlights and then I wrapped 2 shows on the same week. I'll quickly shout out finished Poker Face Season 2, another fun season. I like it slightly less than the first season. There's 2 more episodes. There's 12 episodes, quite kind of a decent amount these days. But yeah, no, a fun show. Really, I'd still recommend it. I think season 1 did have like overall stronger episodes, like on average, but like there's still some really good episodes in the season. Like there's a whole Heat homage. There's a really fun episode that is like it's like a movie homage episode / Heat homage episode specifically. Like without spoiling it, like it's like the ending is awesome. Like the ending, like it fully acknowledges Heat, and like it cuts to credits on like it uses the Heat font in the credits, which is like fully earned by what the episode does. That sounds kind of weird, maybe out of context, but like it was very cool. I very much enjoyed that. But main thing was I finished Task this week. and this show is unsurprisingly great. I think so. I would need to rewatch it, but I think I still like Mayor of Easttown more. That's sort of my feel. Like, God, don't trust my memory. That shit came out 4 years ago, but I think that's sort of my general feeling vibe of it. But how do you feel about that, Fitzy? I don't know. You probably finished the task ages ago now. I don't know how long ago it finished.
Oh yeah. That was a few weeks, but yeah, I agree. But I think it was just the last episode. I think the last episode was kind of mid, to be honest.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, just the way they built certain things up throughout the series, and then they had one scene to kind of to kind of cover a whole subplot that they build up in an emotional sense, and they didn't really deliver on that. And then even the big stuff kind of happened earlier, so it was kind of the structure of the show was kind of weird. I felt like.
Okay, I think I know what you mean.
Yeah. But no, I think Mayor of Easttown was just stronger anyway, and just had. I mean, Kate Winslet just kind of earned that title, so yeah.
Dude, Kate Winslet in that show is unbelievable. Yeah. I think it is funny though, because I take your point, but I also I was also noticing structurally how it was very much following Mayor of Easttown in terms of I guess it's a bit hard without spoilers, but I feel like it actually follows the Mayor of Easttown formula fairly decently in terms of it's the penultimate episode is kind of the climax almost, or
right.
The second last episode is where the crazy shit's going to happen, and when episode 5 of Task ends, clearly with on that cliffhanger, or a cliffhanger in the sense of that what next week's going to kick off with. It's I identified it as being oh, they're doing this again. We know next week's going to be the action part, and then the finale is going to be a resolution kind of episode. But I guess that was sort of not entirely accurate either, because then there was also a decent amount of action in the finale as well, but just not action I necessarily was that was being built to as such, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, even but the resolution just in general it felt a bit weak.
Okay.
But yeah, I definitely see the structural similarities.
Yeah,
just could have been done a bit better.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. I still thought it was very strong television though. I thought the drama was great. The characters were great. Shout out to Kristen Cole in this show.
Oh, yeah.
It was actually really, really good. Yeah, I as a HBO drama, I don't think anyone would be disappointed by this generally. I would definitely, it's still definitely a strong recommend from me. I was on the edge of my seat the whole way. So yeah. Don't take me saying another amazing show is better than it as saying it's, you shouldn't watch it. Fitzy.
No, I don't really have anything. Just watching shows. So, not a show. I haven't really been watching many things. So.
A show, okay.
Can you guys make a list of TV shows to watch this year? Because I genuinely don't think I've seen any new TV.
I haven't seen much at all.
Oh, guys, I was literally just thinking the other day, can we do a top 10 TV shows of 2025? Because I can easily fill a top 10. This year's been insane.
Task I'm about to start, but then anything I genuinely don't think I've seen any other. I've seen half of it. It's anyways. It's season 15 or whatever the fuck it is. I don't think I've seen any other new TV product. Okay.
I'll help you out after the show. This year's been insane. I don't know what it is. I mean, I get that you guys have different, I've got, very, as you know, I'm struggling with movies, and it's just because of my viewing habits. That's all it is. Viewing habits are kind of flipped, I feel like. But yeah, that's
Last of Us. That came out this year, didn't it?
Mm.
Oh, yeah, that was okay.
I mean, it's high for me, but you hated it. Now comes the segment where we hand the show over to you with our question of the show. Last week, we asked you, what is your favourite film inspired by a Shakespeare play? Andy said, to Zach's unfortunate demise, Akira Kurosawa's Ran. an adaptation to King Lear. Liam was the main source of inspiration for me to finally watch Ran. Later on, I read the actual play and I seemed to appreciate the story a whole lot more on a melodramatic level, especially with the subplot of Edgar putting on his disguise as poor Tom, the beggar, after being heartlessly betrayed by his half-brother, as that wasn't in Kurosawa's adaptation. I was going to say I couldn't even remotely recognise that. There you go. And I also preferred how it was sisters instead of brothers for Shakespeare's actual play. I remembered having tears in my eyes when I followed poor Tom's journey. The next King Lear adaptation I want to see is from Dr. Luke's favourite director in history of cinema, Jean-Luc Godard, French New Wave icon. It's from 1987. Julie Depley and Molly Ringwald and redacted director are in it apparently. A good mix for Liam if he wants to see another Godard film.
Didn't we say Julie Deply the entire time we did fucking the Midnight series?
No.
Is it Depley?
Where's Delpy? Is it Delpy?
Delpy? Oh,
did I just say it wrong?
Yeah, I think you said Deply. Yeah.
No, I
Right
think you said Depley just then. I think.
Oh, okay. Whatever I said then could definitely have been incorrect, but it's Delpy,
no.
and we said
Delpy.
that correctly
Yeah,
previously.
now that you said that, I remember it was Delpy. But yeah, okay.
Yeah. My apologies. Jaden should pick "She's the Man" as his favourite, inspired by a Shakespeare play.
Close.
Is that a spoiler? No. Okay.
Yeah.
Not quite, Andy. Not quite. Thank you for writing in though. Ran is a objectively good answer. You know what I mean? Leanne said, "My favourite film inspired by Shakespeare is West Side Story. As you know, West Side Story is a musical with music by Leonard Bernstein. The film was inspired by Romeo and Juliet. In the film, the plot is set in the mid-1950s in New York City. The production explores the rivalry between the Jets and the Sharks, two teenage gangs. The Sharks are from Puerto Rico, while the Jets are white Anglo-Saxons from the local rough neighborhood. Against this backdrop is also a love story, some incredible music, and fantastic dance sequences. The 1961 film adaptation of the Broadway production was nominated for 11 Academy Awards and won 10. Yes, Leanne's very excited about that. The 2021 version of the 2021 version of the epic film adaptation directed by Steven Spielberg was an absolute disaster. Don't get me started on how incredibly bad it was."
Wow. Interesting.
That's it for this week. Keep up the great work, team. Thank you, Leanne. Leanne every now and again comes in with a hot take.
Wait, did she diss the Spielberg films? Is that what just happened?
She couldn't have dissed it more. She said it was an absolute disaster.
I
Don't get
love
me
the Spielberg
started.
film. That was like one of my answers.
I really liked it too. Don't get me started on how incredibly bad it was. Wow.
No. That's
Damn. Speaking of Leanne having hot take answers, my answer is unsurprisingly, or one of my answers is The Lion King. Because The Lion King is an absolute banger of a film. Sorry, Leanne.
1994.
Yes, 1994.
Okay.
I still think that 2019 one's all right. But anyway. Yeah, no, The Lion King, of course. It's an absolute... I actually still, like, it still kind of broke me. I think it was like 6 months ago Leanne wrote in about The Lion King being trash. But, like, how? It's The Lion King, dude. It's like, what's not to like? You know what I mean? Like, I get watching it and not thinking it's the best shit ever. Like, that's fine.
Well, but wasn't
like,
wasn't it our overrated question? Wasn't that what she wrote it into?
Yeah, it was, yeah. But I think if I recall correctly, even like in her answer, it was like she really fundamentally just didn't like.
Well,
like
she does the
bad.
video game spin-offs as well. I think she there's something about like what came after as well.
It keeps, yeah, absolutely. It just keeps on giving bad times for Leanne. But it's it's The Lion King. It's a parrot. It's I guess I kind of knew this, but it's based on Hamlet. Makes sense. Like the whole thing is very Shakespearean. It's not considered an adaptation. You know what I mean? It's just like inspired by, because there are differences from what I've read. Not that I've read the original, but there you go. There you go. Fitzy, do you also want to counter one of Leanne's hot takes with your answer?
Well, like, I need to rewatch West Side Story and Ran. I guess those are my, like, objective, like, high-quality answers. But, like, based on what, like, just on what Jaden was saying earlier, with frickin' Josh Hartnett. It literally removes like everything, even the language. This was something we studied in year 12 for Othello. It's an Othello adaptation. And it is kind of just like, what was the word you used, Jane? Like, it is just kind of, like gimmicky or not gimmicky, like corny or whatever. I don't know. It's like, what was the fucking word you used?
I don't recall what I said.
Corny. Let's just say corny. But it works like on a visual level, and some of the translations into like monologues, the monologue translations are like really good. But I think I'm pretty alone on O, to be honest. Like I'm not sure if anyone else in my class liked it.
I don't know if the rest of your class is like a good.
There was like 6 of us, so that's not a big sample size. But Josh Hartnett, that's where I became a Hartnett head as well. He's like really good.
Wow.
As like an envious kind of teen, because like his character is all about envying like the high school kind of the jock character. So yeah, O is my other unconventional answer, but West Side Story 2011 or whatever it is still great. Still peak. So,
it is still great. It is still great. But it had me thinking about how in that one, like, there's no weird poison shit, you know.
Did they have knives? What did they do?
Characters just kill each other. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that feels, I don't know, more interesting dramatically to me. You know what I mean? And it helps that they don't like say thy all the time. That's why I just like it a bit more, you know. Jaden, what is yours?
Mine's another Julia Stiles film. You know, hopping off the back of Liam. It's 10 Things I Hate About You, which is an adaptation of The Taming of the Shrew. 10 Things I Hate About You is like a near perfect movie. Probably is perfect. You know, what am I saying? It is just the greatest kind of romance ever. And like Julia Stiles and Heath Ledger have just the best chemistry, and like I don't know, it's just set in like such a gorgeous kind of place. Like the school's awesome. I think it's San Francisco, but like it's just shot well. I love it. And like the realization of the characters, like it's so strongly late 90s. And I just really like I didn't even know it was a adaptation up until I don't know a couple of years ago. So like, you know, like I don't know if I like it as an adaptation. Or like a film, or like a work inspired by Shakespeare. I think the question was whatever. But like it is a brilliant film. So good.
That's awesome. That sounds like a modern Shakespeare adaptation that would slap. You know, that wasn't meant as a shot, by the way. But I'm just stating as a fact.
Have you not seen 10 Things, Zach?
No.
Oh, what? That's crazy.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. Like, it might have come up before on this show. I think it has. But, like, I've actually never really heard of this movie. Like, in terms of, like, I have heard of it. But I've never, like, it's never appeared in my zeitgeist of, like, movies people recommend or, like, I've never talked about this movie with anyone outside of, like, maybe once on the show. But, I mean,
no, it's just a good movie. You should just watch it.
It's a very good movie. I feel like I'm going to like it, so you know, I should definitely get around to that. Hey, all right. As always, we'd love you to submit your responses, thoughts, and/or reviews for next week's film in the YouTube or Instagram comment sections, or join the Discord server. This week, the question we'll be asking you is a pretty simple one: what is your favorite recast? Let us know. This came about, just to add a bit of context, this came about because the film we're doing next week has a key cast member, famous cast member, who had to be recast at like he was there, he was going to do the film, then had to be recast at the last second because he had to drop out. So that was the impetus for the question of like, if you want to think of like, you know, people who had to drop out at the last second kind of thing, that it turned out for the better maybe. But also, take it however you like. What is your favorite recast? Okay. That's it for this week's episode. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Fitzy, What the hell was I just vaguely alluding to without wanting to spoil what you were going to say 30 seconds later?
We're doing Frankenstein. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Guillermo. Oh, that's right. Yeah. We did fucking. I'm losing my mind today. What's the movie we just did? We did Baz Luhrmann's William Shakespeare's Romeo plus Juliet. Now we're doing Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro's Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, Andrew Garfield was supposed to play Frankenstein. That's who Zach was alluding to. And now it's Jacob Elordi. So yeah, it's on Netflix. Oscar Isaac's there. Everyone loves Oscar Isaac. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm actually genuinely excited for this movie. Like, I mean, I haven't seen a trailer, but like the stills I've seen look like, looks cool and all that. But also mainly just because I'm excited to experience the story of Frankenstein for the first time, considering I never finished the book. I'm like pumped. I'm like, I actually don't really know what happens in this. To me, like I kind of do, but I also
how far did you get?
Like a third. I think
it's crazy.
I remember him like I remember the when the monster. I did read when the monster was like wandering around in the woods or whatever, and then there was like the family, or like there was like the girl in the family or something, and he was like, like feeding him or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I remember that, but I think I didn't get much further. So, anyways, it's going to be a whole new world for me, I guess. All right, very good. I appreciate Liam and Jada for joining me as always. Have a great rest of your week, everyone, and goodbye.